me. Vera's doing the fry-up.
Good girl. When you ready, Vera, love?
I'll give you when you're ready. You're not in the Ritz Hotel.
What's that?
Beans on toast.
Yes, I know, I can count them. 8. I thought we was having a lash-up.
Yes, and I thought we were going to have 20,000 quid. Look, we're going to have to tighten our belts.
Hey, he's got more beans than me, and he's got a jucky egg.
Well, he's entitled. He's the lodger.
Oh, so now I come second to the lodger, do I?
No, you come third. The dog comes before you. Look, Tyrone, I'm sorry, love, but I'm going to have to ask you for another £5 a week, and I still won't be making a profit on you.
Oh, it ain't a problem, Vera.
It's all down to that flaming Richard Hillman robbing us. Do you know he wants stringing up?
Yeah, well, they've done away with that, Vera, and you are not entitled to starve me to death.
Now, listen here, yo. We need more money coming into this house, so you'll have to do what I do and get yourself a job.
Cruel tongue.
Is that what everybody around here thinks? That I was in on Richard's frauds?
Of course they don't.
It's what Vera Duckworth thinks.
No, it's what she said to you, Gail. I mean, let's face it, she was talking in anger. I mean, her and Jack's life savings have disappeared. But when she's had time to think, she'll realise you had no part in it.
No. The worst worry is people taking it out on Sarah and David. I'm thinking of keeping her off school for another week.
I don't want to stay at home anymore. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, neither do I. We've done nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, you can go back on Monday if that's what you want.
Quite right.
Right.
See, my darling, you've got to hold your head up, get on with your life. Look, your friends, your real friends, everybody that knows you, knows you're not to blame for what Richard Hillman did.
I feel I'm to blame. You warned me, Ma'am. I wouldn't listen.
How's your lunch? Come on, Katie. Time you're off to school.
Should have breakfast yet?
No, she'll get a bit of toast on her way to school. You're not even dressed yet. Come on, Katie, get your act together.
Mum, I keep going dizzy. There is no way I can go to school.
Now, you see, we're all under stress. There's mornings when I don't want to go to work, but I do. So we're going to school.
I can't. Oh, I'm getting back into bed.
No, you are going to get washed and dressed, lady.
Leave her, Anne. She don't look well.
You're a pushover for her whims, aren't you? Daddy's little girl, she's got you wrapped round her finger.
As she's staying off, can I stop at home as well?
No, you can't.
Oh, it's different for him, innit?
He's not ill. He's trying it on. Come on, Craig, on your way.
Oh.
Can't be doing with this crack of dawn stuff.
I reckon we're wasting our time. There's no crumpet in this story, so where the hell's the pictures, Stanley?
Well, looking on the bright side, Geoffrey, at least there's a pub handy.
You're newspaper men, right? There's all sorts I could tell you if I wanted.
About what?
The House of Horror. Well, next door, don't I? How much will you give me to tell you all I know?
Well, you hang on there, son. There's a reporter from the Beano due any time.
Well, don't say you weren't offered!
Luce, I should go.
Do you have to?
Well, I'm supposed to be looking after the pub, you know, while Shell's away. And by rights, there should have been somebody on the premises last night. And she's coming back this morning.
Are you going to tell her today about us?
Yeah, I am. You know, it seems like the right moment.
There'll never be a right moment for Shelley. She's going to be hurt whenever you tell her. So you might as well get it over with.
Yeah, no, you're right. Shell's the past, you and the baby are the future.
Morning, Betty.
Hello, love. I didn't expect you back so soon.
Oh, I got an earlier train.
Oh, I bet you want a cup of tea, don't you?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
freshly brewed, love. Now then, how's your sister?
Well, I think she looks awful, but they say she's over the worst, so...
Oh, well, then that's good news, then, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Where's Peter?
I couldn't tell you, love. He'd already gone when I got here. He must have gone to work early.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
Hey, love, you feeling all right? I mean, you look a bit pale, you know.
I feel a bit sick, actually. It's nothing to worry about. I'll be fine by dinner time.
Look, I hate to leave you, you know, Luce. I love you. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Tracy, we shouldn't be doing that with the door unlocked. It could have been a customer walking in.
I won't worry. They'd have been impressed. Probably put it down to flowers and bought another bunch.
Right, love, I'm going to get off, so I'll give you a ring later, OK?
Is it D-Day?
Sorry?
D. For disillusioning Shelley. About time you did.
Just get off my back, will you, Tracy? Bye, love.
Bye. Don't bully him. You know, I think all the more of him for being so reluctant to make Shelley unhappy. Your brother is a lovely man.
Ah, he's a little lump. Oh, he's got lovely little cheeks and teeth.
He's got a lovely everything as this lad, hasn't he?
Ah, he's a well-made young man, aren't you?
Yeah, oh, aye. Would you like to have hold of him? You can if you want.
Oh, it's time I were getting them pub doors open.
So you said you like Bobbies? Oops, a daisy. Oh, Betty.
What?
Would you look after him for half an hour while I nip out?
Well, no, I've got to go and see to my hot pots.
Oh.
That's all, love.
Shelley, now this would be good practice for you, this would. You know, when you get your own. There's an out to it. If you know how to tie a shoelace, then you know how to
go and help Harry, love. Oh, and Fred.
What?
He's been sick down your back.
Pint of bitter and a scotch.
Right, you are.
Morning.
Morning.
Mr. Shuttleworth, isn't it?
All right.
He did you a bit of good. Put some trade your way.
Come again?
Richard Hillman. Good news for the funeral trade, a man like that. Like they say, it's an ill wind.
It were an ill wind that blew you in here today. See you, Norris.
Oh, right.
Some people are fed up of newspaper blokes asking questions about the neighbours.
They're only doing a job, that's all. There's been a killer on the loose round here. People want to know what's going on.
Oh, no, he's right, Kevin, they do. Oh, I work in the news agents selling your papers.
I bet you've sold more than usual.
Well, yeah, that's true, we have. But at the same time, people don't want pestering, do they? I mean, take Mrs. Bishop, for instance. Now, I'm lodge with her, by the way. Now, I mean, she's lucky to be alive after what she's been through, and she knows that. But she doesn't want you chaps pestering her on doorstep day in and day out, does she?
Wouldn't dream of it. So, you'll have been in the thick of all these tragic events.
Well, yes, I have, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Oh, I'll take a half with you.
Landlord. And, see what those gentlemen are having.
I wake up in the morning and I think it didn't really happen. It's just a bad dream. And there's this awful sick feeling. And I realise it's not a dream. Something I have to live with. Oh, Julie, don't want a drink, so?
No, thanks, girl. I'm working.
You'll get through this. Will I? I keep going over and over my life with Richard. How could I have loved him so? Because I did love him. I really did.
But not now.
When I think of what he did to Maxine and Emily, there's no love. Just a feeling of disgust and horror. The awful thing is, he said he did it for us. For me and the children.
That's just sales talk. He's trying to excuse himself. He did it for the money and to get a better life for himself. You stick with that, girl, because that's the truth.
I'll do my best.
Concentrate on the future for you and the kids. Look forward, not back.
I will. If my neighbours and the newspapers will let me.
Here you go, Jack.
I'm sorry, lad.
Seen you around. I know the face, but not the name.
Joe Dulworth.
Glad to meet you. Landlord. Same again when everybody's ready.
Just come here a minute. I'm not the landlord. In fact, I don't even work here. Between you and me, SAS.
Pardon?
Specials. Who dares wins? Are you with me? And I'm not alone. Two of my lads are upstairs at the windows. Trained marksmen. Snipers. There's a ring of steel in position around this street.
Snipers? What are you talking
Just
about?
keep your voice down. We think Hillman's coming back. For revenge. Any day now he could burst through them doors, and when he does, he'll be armed.
What gun, you mean? You serious?
I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. Is that serious enough for you? And if you and your pal are going to be hanging around here, I suggest you get your boss to get you bulletproof vests as well.
What's your name?
You know better than that. No names. Just call me Major.
I knew you'd be in here, supping away what's left of his money.
Don't start.
Can't you get it in your head? We're skint, we're on the floor because of that flaming Richard Hillman.
This is your good lady wife, I take it.
She's not good and she's no lady. If you want to take her, please do, but don't bring her back.
Stan Nichols, Mrs. Duckworth. You mentioned Richard Hillman.
I did. He robbed us blind, the swine.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Right, you're going on, Vera.
No, listen, I want to tell his fella
Trust me,
what that Richard Hillman did to us.
Mrs. Duckworth, come and have a drink.
She's got to go. Sorry, cock.
Oh, what you doing? I was just going to tell that reporter what that Richard Hillman did to us.
And so you shall, my little swan duck, but not for free.
What do you mean?
If we play our cards right, you'll pay good money for that story.
Hey, do you think so?
Nice little bit of compensation, make up for what we've had took of us. Stick with me, kid. I'll show you. I wasn't last in the queue when they gave brains out.
Oh, Jack. Oh, I could kiss you.
Give over, you've been talking me out of it.
Better late than never. I've given up chance of seeing you at all this dinner time.
No, I was busy in the bookies, love. So, are you okay? How's your sister?
Well, she's on the mend, touch wood.
Is she? That's good.
So, did you miss me?
I did love you.
Was the bed cold without me?
Well, if there's a bunch of squaddies surrounding this street, they're damn well hidden. The ladder way's been having you on. And you wanted it to be true, didn't you?
There you go, Shelley.
Oh, thanks, Harry.
He's not the chief, he's only one of the Indians.
My photographer's been round the block. He hasn't seen any soldiers.
Well, of course he hasn't. They've all been on camouflage training. You know that pillar box out there? You keep watching that long enough, you'll see it move.
You're not the landlord, are you?
I told you I wasn't.
You're not SAS, are you?
Just put me down as saying no comment.
All that stuff about snipers and bulletproof vests. You were pulling me plonker, weren't you?
Only a tiny tweak.
In other words, you've been wasting our valuable time.
Valuable? Is there anywhere you'd sooner be than in here?
No, you mentioned it, no. He'll have a pint, I'll have a scotch.
See, the thing is, Ken, I just wondered if you could give us some advice.
No, just leave this to me, will you?
No, I know what I'm doing.
Will you shut up? Sorry, Kenneth. You can see what I've got to put up with, can't you? Trying to get a word in edgewise here. He's trying to light a match on a pound of wet tripe.
What's the problem?
Well, we were wondering if you knew how much the papers would pay for a bit of stuff about Richard Hillman.
What sort of stuff exactly?
Well, he told us he was going to invest all our savings, 20 grand, every flaming penny.
Yeah, and he stole it.
Yeah, that was a terrible thing to happen. I do sympathise, I really do.
So how much do you think they'd pay us then? You know, if we told them what happened.
Oh, I don't know, Vera. I mean, the tabloids, who knows what kind of silly money they might pay. But they want their pound of flesh. Want you to dredge up everything about Richard Hillman. And Gail, too, of course, who has been your neighbour for a long time.
Oh, some neighbour, her. She got us to go over to their house, telling us what a big favour he were doing us.
Well, it's all right, you talking neighbours, isn't it? But look what they have done to their neighbours, me and her.
Mr. Platt, have a word. I'll pay for that pint. Am I right in thinking I'm talking to Mrs. Hillman's ex-husband?
Well, whatever you're after, I'm not talking to you, all right?
Oh, I just wondered how you felt about your ex-wife being linked with Richard Hillman.
Just shove off. I'll get my own pint, thanks very much.
They're your kids over the road, right? I won't want my kids living in the same house as that Hillman character, bearing in mind what the police want to ask them about.
Push off before I lose my temper, all right?
I'm just giving you a chance to put your side of it.
Now, come on, he's asked you nicely to leave him alone. So be a gentleman, eh? I'll have to put my chucker-out hat on.
Chuck us out, you and who else?
Well, it's me again.
Yeah, and me.
All right. Don't say I didn't give you a chance to speak your mind. Stan Nichols. Oh, hello, Chas. Oh, Geoffrey's here with me. Where are we? We're in the cold and the damp, mate. Up the sharp end. I think we're wasting our time. What number? OK. Will do. Well, Geoffrey, Mr. and Mrs. Duckworth at number 9. You want to make a little deal with us?
Yeah, I almost forgot. I've got a bone to pick with you. Where did you get to last night?
What do you mean, love?
Well, I rang the pub after closing time, no answer, so I tried again 10 minutes later. Still nothing.
Shell.
Now, Peter, you do understand there's got to be someone on the premises all the time. You went back to the flat, didn't you?
No.
Well, where were you then?
I was having a bath. I was in the bath when the phone rang. Second time it rang, I come running down here, I'm soaking wet, and I just get to it, and it stopped.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I tell you what, tonight, have a long hot soak, and you never know, I might even join you.
Mrs. Duckworth, we meet again.
Yeah.
My boss has been on the phone to me. Says you got something to tell us.
Well, if the price is right, best come in.
Disco night in here again, I see.
Oh, you can't hear yourself think sometimes. Still, I don't like telling them always to be turning it down.
Mum, we didn't tell her. What? Oh, you always got Bunny to Mum and moaning. She won't let me play my CDs. Because your CDs are so not cool. They are, yours are rubbish.
Hey, come on, we've got to share, haven't we?
It's my CD player.
All the same, let her have a turn.
Ugh, it's not fair.
What's the matter with Rosie? Always arguing these days.
She's growing up, Kevin. She just wants to be treated like a young woman.
Yeah, well, she's 12. She's still a kid.
Well, you try telling her that. You'll get another argument.
Hiya.
Oh, bang on time, Ange. Hey, guess who's cooked tea? Our Katie.
Ooh, there's a novelty. You must be feeling a bit better then.
A bit.
Just like a day in bed to put you right. Like trying myself one of these wet mornings.
So how was your day?
Oh, the usual. Giving me a down grafting away.
Ask me how my day was.
Why? You're going to tell us anyway.
School drama group Stone Bugsy Malone. It's a musical about gangsters.
Yeah, I've seen that film.
Well, guess who's going to play Bugsy?
You. Give over.
How would you know? You weren't at school today, were you?
Yeah, but you have to sing and dance and everything. You can't even do that.
I can. They reckon I'm a right natural.
Good on you, Craig.
Yeah, that's great, Craig. Stop knocking him all the time, will you? Where's yours? Are you not eating?
I'll have it later.
Oh, you're your dad's girl, all right. He can shift his drink and all.
Oh, thanks, Ange. I'll tell you what, when we've had this, we'll nip across the road. You can pay.
What we can tell you's worth 1,000 quid of anybody's money.
Oh, the office won't go that high. Their top offer's 500. It's good money. I'd snatch their hand off before they think better of it.
You call that good money? That Richard Hillman swindled £20,000 of our money.
Now, Vera, keep your mouth shut before we've done a deal, eh? £1,000, take it or leave it.
Sorry. Come on, Jeff. We'd best try that other house. They seem keen to talk.
Oh, yeah, right. Right, all right, OK. Right, 500 quid. Better nick a couple of bum, isn't it?
You got yourself a deal. Now, about that 20,000.
Aye. Our little nest egg. Every penny we had in the world. Nice and safe in a building society. Until that flaming Richard Hillman comes along and says we were mugs for leaving it in there. We put it in with him, then he'll get us a good income off it.
Put it straight in his pocket, the swine.
Let me get this straight. He talked you into drawing out your money and he was going to invest it for you?
Oh, told us a right tale. Yeah, and she were in on it, that Gail, his wife. It were her that invited us to the house. Gave us drinks and everything. Told us how we wouldn't regret it because Richard worked magic with money.
Oh, you were magic, all right. I mean, our life savings disappeared just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
My mum said I should get a solicitor. So I took her advice and I rang the solicitor's office and I've got an appointment to see him.
No, good.
Feel better for doing it. Past few days have been a nightmare. Anyway, I'm trying to put it behind me.
Well, that might not be so easy. Because the newspapers are sniffing round again.
No.
Yeah. That fellow that's been doorstepping you, well, he buttonholed me in the Rovers.
And what did he want to know?
Oh, how did I feel about my ex-wife's involvement with the man that the police want to help with their inquiries into a string of murders?
So what did you say?
I told him where to shove it. Hope everyone else does the same.
I can put you down there.
Yeah.
Right. Vera, get closer to Jack. And, sort of snuggle up to him a bit.
Oh, you mean like a lovebird?
Not a lovebird, more like a vulture.
Hold still now.
Hey, what are you doing? We've just had a lot of money stolen. What the hell are you smiling for?
Because it's natural, isn't it, to smile when you're having your photograph taken?
Get your face straightened.
Vera, I don't suppose you know what the Ullmans did with your 20,000, do you?
I've a good idea what they spent it on. A big fancy wedding with all the trimmings. Yeah, spent a fortune on that wedding. Their fourth, by the way.
Mrs. Ullman's been married 4 times.
Yes, she has, but 2 of them to the same fella.
Yeah, but it was still 4 weddings, weren't it? And you're not telling me they didn't know they were spending our money. And another thing, her daughter, Sarah, had a baby at 13. Well, I mean, that tells you everything, doesn't it?
Vera, if you could just kind of point at the house.
He wants locking up him, that Richard Hillman, and so does she and all. Yet let them suffer like they've made us suffer.